I'm going to start with a little story that's all too common. You see a gaming laptop on sale for a bargain price, you click buy, and a few weeks later you're wrestling with stuttering frame rates, a screen that can't keep up, and a charger that looks like it belongs on a toaster. Cheap alternatives often disappoint after purchase, leaving you wishing you'd spent a little more for something that actually works the way you need it to. The question I keep hearing from people on the forums is there a mid-range laptop that actually delivers without breaking the bank? The Lenovo LOQ 15 claims to be that smarter by, link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about why a laptop in this price range is a tough sell. You're looking for a machine that can run modern games at 1080p with decent settings, but you also want it to handle video editing, 3D rendering, or any creator-focused workload you might throw at it. That means you need a GPU that isn't just a marketing badge, a CPU that can keep up when you're compiling code or exporting a Premiere timeline, and enough RAM and storage to keep things smooth. The LOQ 15 bundles an RTX 4050 with an Intel Core i5-12450HX, 32GB of RAM, and a 1TB SSD, all the pieces you'd normally have to cherry-pick yourself. What does that combo actually feel like in daily use? I took the laptop for a week of typical creator gamer chores, playing titles like Valorant and Elden Ring on medium-high settings, editing 4K footage in DaVinci Resolve, and swapping between a few Chrome tabs with music streaming in the background. The RTX 4050 handled the games without dropping below 60 frames per second on the 144Hz panel, and the extra refresh rate made even a medium setting feel fluid. When I opened Resolve, the 32GB of RAM meant the timeline never hiccuped, and the 1TB NVMe drive loaded footage almost instantly. Boot times were indeed fast. The system was ready to type within 10 seconds of hitting the power button, which is a noticeable improvement over older laptops I've owned. Now, where the LOQ 15 really shows its value is in the way those specs are balanced. The RTX 4050 is a step up from the older GTX 1650Ti you still see in many budget gaming notebooks, offering better ray tracing support and more CUDA cores for rendering tasks. Paired with the i5-12450HX, which is a 12-core, 16-thread chip, you get a CPU that can juggle a game engine and background encoding without the throttling you sometimes see on older series processors. The 32GB of RAM isn't just a vanity number, it actually lets you run multiple virtual machines or keep dozens of browser tabs open while your game stays steady, something that matters if you're a streamer who monitors chat, OBS, and Discord at the same time. That said, the LOQ 15 isn't a flawless solution. The first hidden trade-off I noticed was thermals. The laptop's chassis is a mix of aluminum and high-grade plastic, which keeps it from feeling too heavy, but under sustained load the RTX 4050 and the i5 chip push the cooling system to its limits. After about an hour of continuous gaming, the fans spin up aggressively and you can hear a low-frequency whine that might be distracting in a quiet room. It doesn't throttle the performance dramatically, but you'll notice a slight dip in frame rates if you push the settings to ultra for long sessions. If you plan to game for marathon sessions in a silent environment, you might need an external cooling pad. Another practical consideration is battery life. With a 15.6-inch 144Hz display, the power draw is naturally higher than a 60Hz panel. On the included 80Wh battery, you can expect around 3 to 4 hours of mixed use, say, some gaming, a bit of video editing, and web browsing. That's respectable for a machine in this class, but it's not something you'll take on a long flight without the charger in hand. The charger itself is fairly bulky, which is something you'll notice if you travel often. Who should buy this laptop? If you're a college student or junior professional who wants a single device for both gaming and creator work, the LOQ 15 hits a sweet spot. It's especially appealing if you already own a desktop monitor and can keep the laptop docked most of the time, using the built-in 144Hz screen for quick gaming sessions and the external monitor for detailed editing work. The backlit keyboard is also a nice touch for late-night sessions, and the Windows 11 integration means you get the latest gaming features like Auto HDR without fiddling with third-party tools. Who should skip it? If you're a hardcore sport competitor who needs the absolute highest frame rates on the lowest possible latency, you'll probably want a laptop with an RTX 4060 Ti or higher, plus a more aggressive cooling solution. Likewise, if you're looking for a workstation that can handle massive 3D renders for hours on end, the i5-12450HX, while strong, will eventually be outpaced by a Ryzen 9 series or Intel i7 series with higher base clocks. Finally, if you travel with